Hello and welcome to the Trey Stewart program. We've got a lot of fun stuff for you. My first interview with Tony Rock. It's really great. I'm here with a brilliant producer and in-house white guy, Rob. Rob, everybody say hi. White Rob.
I'll give the traditional white man a thumbs up.
Great. Yeah, we got Rob in here to keep things, not from getting too black.
Yeah, the international symbol for I am not a threat.
Great. Perfect.
I'm not currently a threat.
No, not yet. Rob is one of the good ones. And the interview with Tony, full disclosure, was recorded before we were on the brink of World War III. Hey, Rob, remember when the biggest threat to society was Joe Rogan?
I do remember that. It was over 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, those were the days a couple weeks ago. Well, let's get the show started. But first, a message to Putin. Which camera should I look into? This one, the one right in front of me? All right, that makes sense. This goes out directly to Putin. I know he's a fan of the show, so I'm just going to speak directly to him. Hey, Putin, cut it out. Huh? Stop it. All right? That should do it.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here. Listen, if that doesn't solve anything, then there's no solving it. If that doesn't calm Putin down, then the man is unreachable. I think it's very bad what's happening. Also, one thing I wanted to highlight too is a lot of people don't understand what Putin wants from this war, right? So I want to go ahead and go over just some of the lists of demands that Putin has, just to inform the people. This is just some of the things that Putin wants in order to stop this war. He wants Ukraine to not join NATO. He's been very clear about that. He wants NATO to stop expanding closer to his borders. He also wants to do a carpool karaoke with James Corden. That sounds fun, right? I'd watch that.
What song do you think he would choose?
Probably Cardi B's WAP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Featuring Megan Thee Stallion.
That's right. Yeah, that's what Putin would be rocking.
Would Putin be Cardi B or would he be Megan Thee Stallion? Which one would Corden be?
Well, Corden would be he'd be in a cat suit. He'd be in his makeup from Cats because that's how I see him. That's who he is for now. And Putin would just be obviously Meg Thee Stallion.
Okay,
he's got Meg Thee Stallion, and so so far it's pretty fair. The demands that Putin wants. He also wants to be on the next season of Celebrity Big Brother. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of fun. And the last one, this was the most important one. He said he stresses this, he needs this to happen. He wants a verse on Donda 3. So I think we'll have to see about that.
He might be able to get that, actually. That's the most realistic one. I can absolutely see Kanye calling in.
Yeah. I want to hear Putin spit some bars. Why not? Spit bars and stop doing this war. Well, here's the thing. I'm willing to admit when I was wrong. I used to think Putin was a fair guy. And now I realize that he is a little bit of a silly goose. We can admit that here at the Trey Stewart program. Unlike CNN, I admit when I'm wrong. But I think we can all agree the worst part about this war is the fact that it's happening to white people. Here's the thing. If you want to illegally invade / bomb brown people, that's one thing. But bombing innocent whites, this time, Putin has gone too far.
Now the unthinkable has happened to them. And this is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
And what's compelling is just looking at them, the way they're dressed. These are prosperous, I'm loath to use the expression, these are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East that are still in a big state of war. These are not people trying to get away from areas in North Africa. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
Me, I'm sorry. It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed, children being killed every day.
And that's what makes this war so special. It's happening to real people. Not fake people like the ones in Afghanistan or Yemen, but real ones with white skin who watch Netflix. It's terrible. I think that's the problem with war, Rob, is that it's all fun and games until someone loses their blue eyes. Blue eyes matter. Hashtag blue eyes matter.
Hashtag blue eyes matter. Don't get the hashtag wrong.
Yeah, blue eyes matter. And you know, really, white lives matter. But that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's, another funny thing about this, well, nothing's funny about war except for everything. But one of the interesting things is Putin's justification of the war is he wants to de-nazify Ukraine, which is, that's like a great excuse for anything, really. You know, I want to denazify. Like, here's a fun thought experiment. Let's say I come into your house with you and your wife, and I just move in without you specifically asked me not to move in, and I move in anyway. Mm-hmm. Would you be mad, yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's take that same scenario, but this time I'm moving in under the guise of denazifying your house. How would you and your wife feel? I'm getting rid of Nazis.
Yeah. We're the Nazis, though. In this scenario, my wife and I are the Nazis.
They're there. Maybe I
haven't
assessed yet. I know there's Nazis somewhere.
So there's two people who live in the house right now.
That's right.
Plus one dog.
Yes.
So what is the dog the Nazi?
Maybe that's why I gotta come.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I have to come and investigate. Mm-hmm. And I think that would solve. I understand Putin. You know, it's another thing too is a majority of people support the war in Russia because of Russian propaganda, and that's actually what I want to talk about. You know, my main topic of discussion today is propaganda. Propaganda has been used to sell us some of our favorite things, from pianos to Diet Coke. My personal favorite, the Iraq War. It's pretty fun. But not all propaganda is good. You know, like when it's being used to sell products, that's fine. But when it's being used by dictators like Putin to sell wars, well, then it's a problem because it's working, you know. And Putin knows the best way to get people to believe what he wants is to eliminate all dissenting voices, right? Like Putin recently got rid of the BBC News. I think that's right? And I want to highlight the difference between misinformation and propaganda, okay? Because they're two different things, but they get thrown together. Misinformation, I believe, is when someone is truly misinformed on a topic and they spread that misinformation, right? But propaganda and fake news is when these people know the right answer, but they spread misinformation to push an agenda. Healthcare is a perfect example of that. I don't believe for a second that Anderson Cooper isn't smart enough to know that we can afford free healthcare, that every other country does it, right? But they act like we can't. And so to me, that's what it is. You know, if you willingly know and you have a platform, and I think that's important to highlight, you know, because it's not the same. But I digress. Listen, we got a good show, a good interview. Tony Rock, our first guest ever, and he was really funny. I'm so happy that he sat down and honored the show in this way. I think we're off to a great start. So please enjoy Tony Rock.
And we're off.
Here it is. The Trey Stewart program, as it's titled.
Or what's the other name?
Or the other one was the last nigger with a podcast. But I don't know if that's going to play.
It plays for me. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah. Well, Richard
You
Pryor
thinking about your advertisers?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the
right.
money, let's not
Right.
use that one for the money.
It would be Trey Stewart program.
The Trey Stewart program.
Yeah, you know, it's I always like the program instead of like show.
Okay.
It's like a throwback.
Okay.
A little bit. But yeah, Tony Rock needs no introduction.
The first podcast. Thank you so much for having me. Trey Stewart's first podcast, everybody.
That's
Let's
right.
hope we don't fuck it up.
Yeah, we get canceled. That's all you. I'm blaming it. All on you, man. No, this is
I came
great.
straight from the barbershop. If my hair looks shitty, it's because I jumped out the chair and came straight here. So I didn't even wash the hair off me. It's like hair in my ears. And
Oh,
shit, so
no,
if I look
man.
whack.
No.
You got to say that because if black people watch, they judge hair. So black people will be like, yo, fuckers up with Trey's hair, man. Need a haircut.
Yeah.
So you got to, for black
Yeah.
people, I just got out the chair.
Yeah,
White
yeah,
people,
yeah.
we look exactly the same.
Right, yeah.
Our hair looks exactly the same.
They can't. Yeah, they can't tell the difference. Well, but you always look crisp. You got like a barber.
I'm trying.
Do you have a personal barber?
I do.
Or, okay, yeah, just a guy. You don't
Yeah.
go to like a place.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever the place I need my haircut is, that's where he'll show up.
They'll show up. That's it. That's me too, man.
That's like an aspirational thing. Like if you really think about like black, like making it as a black person, it's the money, of course. It's the women.
Right.
It's the cars. It's the jewelry.
Yeah.
But if you got your own barber, like you call a motherfucker, he comes to where you are to cut your hair. That shit's over all of that.
You made it.
That's you.
Yeah.
You literally made it.
Yeah,
You
you're-
literally made it if you got your own barber. Like that's
it.
That might be number one.
It is. I think it's above everything else. You
Right.
don't even need to pay me anymore.
Because you could get pussy and be broke, like, or still be minimum wage and get some pussy.
Yeah.
You're gonna get minimum wage pussy, but you're gonna get pussy.
Right.
You could have a car that just gets you to A to B. That's
Yeah.
fine. You could luck up and catch a shirt on sale and look like you got some money. But if you
Yeah.
have your own barber as
That
a black
shows
man,
up. Man.
what's better than that, man?
Yeah. That's money, man. And well, I'm losing my barber actually. He's getting more successful, so he's cutting like celebrities' hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I lost him.
I had a really good barber that was in the Valley.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker wanted to be a comic and a rapper and all type of shit other than a barber. So now we had to part ways, and I found this new guy who's super dope.
Yo.
Shout out to my man Chris.
Yeah, Chris, man. That's maybe I might shoot. If I'm looking for somebody, because literally it's funny. I had a guy. He cut my hair one time. Talk about a rapper or a barber. He was like trying to sell me his mixtape while cutting my hair. I'm like, bro, just give me the lineup, man.
Yeah.
He was playing his song.
No, you ever listen, I got that shit in an Uber one time in Atlanta. And Atlanta would be, when you think of this shit
Yeah.
happening, Atlanta would be the place for that.
Exactly,
I get in the
right.
Uber, leaving the airport, tired, flew across country, just want to get to the hotel and take a nap. And this motherfucker's playing his own stuff, right? Which I don't pay attention to.
Yeah.
And then he sees me do this at one point. I'm in the back of the Uber, he sees me do this. And that was it. It was like, oh, you like this? Yo, you like this? Yo, this is me. You like this?
Yeah.
And it was all because he
Just
had
that
my
slight-
number because
yeah.
I called Uber. So the motherfucker had my number,
Oh man.
gave me a CD, called me, and was like, yo, did you listen to it? Only in Atlanta. Only in Atlanta.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
What happened? Is he did anything come of it?
I gave him 3 stars, and then I contacted Uber and said, this motherfucker's trying to sell me his mixtape.
Yo, you got him fired.
So
That's
he's probably
crazy.
going to shoot me one
He's
day in
homeless.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
he's probably
Did he
gonna-
recognize you? Was he like, yo?
I don't know. That's a good question. But he just saw this right here.
That's it. That's all.
And
you
that
get,
was
yeah.
all he needed.
Man, yeah, he was like, "Oh, I got a fan."
Yeah, he's like, you like this?
He saw the Tony Stark sunglasses that you were wearing.
man.
He's like, this dude.
Hey, the Shade King. That would be me.
Was it an Uber Black or was it just a regular Uber?
Man, it was a fucking Uber XL. It was like
Oh, yeah,
it was like a
yeah.
minivan that
Damn.
didn't even have the sliding door button. Like I had to manually open the door,
Wow,
and it was. I just heard the bass. I heard like a doo doo, and I was like, okay,
man.
And that was it. It was like from there to the hotel was the sales pitch. It was on. But I kind of respect that kind of that kind of grind and.
Yeah.
That fuck it. That what the fuck when you're trying to come up. I get it.
Yeah, I think that's necessary. I had it. I mean, and Sue, I'm sure you had it too. I hear stories all the time where you and when you were coming up. I think I met Godfrey in Vegas.
Right.
That was one of your boys, right?
Yeah, I knew Godfrey when I started.
Yeah.
He was like established when I started.
Who's your crew when you started? Like let's say you're like, I don't know, 3.
My crew was myself, Sherrod Small, my cousin,
Right.
Rachel Feinstein,
Oh.
who's doing very well right now. Shout out to Rach, and Stephen Donovan, one of my good friends from Malden, Massachusetts. I never could say Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
I could never say Massachusetts and Elizabeth when I was a kid.
Elizabeth,
So those
yeah.
are the 2 words I always try to get right. So
We'll edit
that was us 4.
Yeah.
And we was like, we're gonna take over the world of comedy. We thought we
Yeah.
were so cocky and brash, and we had a good 3, but we thought we had a good 15. You know, when you start out, you think, you know.
Yeah.
And that was my crew. We just did everything together, and it was the best of times. We were so broke, but the camaraderie it will live forever.
You're right. And so that people say that all the time. Was like, did you really feel like that was the best?
Oh, no, I really do. I really do. I was.
Even now, better than.
I was on. See, when we started in New York, so many comedy clubs in New York.
Right.
The goal is just to be a regular at every club in New York.
Yeah.
Initially. Mm-hmm. If you can be a regular at every club in New York, you can make some money.
Yeah, right.
You can't get rich, but you can make money,
Enough to live off.
Pay your rent, put food in your refrigerator.
That's good.
You might be able to invite a chick over and she says, hey, this is kind of cool. This is nice. You know what I'm saying?
Comedy.
Again, you're getting, B-level pussy, but you're getting pussy. And then
it counts.
And that's you working. You in the grind just to be in the mix. See, when you start out in New York, and I don't know, I'm only saying New York as in that's where I started. It could be the same everywhere else. Mm. But when you start in New York, just to be in the mix and other comics go, hey man, like what's up? And they acknowledge you like as not an open micer.
Right.
And not a wannabe.
A real
or not some fucking hack. Mm-hmm. When you in a restaurant and the cellar, you know, and you're eating and other comics go up past the table like, yo man, good shit yesterday, or yo, good shit yesterday, or we saw you at the comic strip earlier, yo, funny stuff. That's everything,
best,
man. That's right. Everything.
That's the best moment, man.
Especially the guys you looked up to.
Right.
Like Todd Barry telling me I'm funny. You can't put no fucking price tag on that.
No, you can't.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really why to do it. To the respect of
Greg Giraldo saying to me and Sherrod one night, and may he rest in peace. Greg Giraldo, the big OG.
He's dead?
Greg, yeah.
No, yeah.
One night, we checked the lineup at the comic strip and we see that we're on the 10 o'clock show.
Right.
On a Friday night. And 10 o'clock is prime time. Mm-hmm. They did the 8, the 10, and the 12 show. 10 o'clock is prime time. And me and Sherrod saw that we were on the 10 o'clock show and we lost it right there in the lobby. Oh my God, we fucking here. We on our way. And Greg Giraldo's just sitting in the corner. Now he's a 20-year vet, was watching us. And he goes, hey, come here. He calls us up. And I'm thinking he's going to say, hey, man, calm the fuck down. Be easy. You know, like, you didn't do shit yet. And he says the total opposite. He goes, man, I'm watching you guys just enjoy being on the 10 o'clock show. Like, you guys are, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big when you think about what you want to do in your career. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at you guys, and I remember how excited I was to be on the 10 o'clock show. Oh, and he said, I really hope you guys never lose that excitement right there. That really took me back. I hope you guys never lose that. And to this day, when my agent calls and say, hey, we got an offer. Tampa. Yeah. Yes, go, baby. Tampa. I'm still that guy because I remember when I just wanted to be doing nothing but this. And now I'm doing it. I'm one of the few people in the world that can say I have the job that I dreamed about as a child.
Yeah. It's really beautiful to look at it. I think that's why I like touring with you. I was so glad when you came up. I actually had that moment with you, what you had with Gerard, what you came up to me at the
and he didn't believe me, ladies and gentlemen. May I tell the story, please? Yes, I saw this motherfucker at the Comedy Store have an amazing set, fucking killer. I'm laughing like, yo, this dude is dope. I go up to him after the show. I go, hey, man, funny stuff, man. I just want to make sure he sees that another comic is acknowledging him. Hey, good stuff, man. Because he worked at the store.
Yeah.
So let's not lose. He was a door guy at the store.
Yeah.
So I saw the door guy on stage, and I thought he was amazingly funny. And he like did his set and went back to work. Mm-hmm. So I went over and said, hey, man, that was really funny stuff, and I like how you write. And are you going on the road? Are you out? And he's like, I do dates here with this guy and that guy every once in a while, though. And I go, yo, you know what? I might have something for you, man. Like, give me a call. Like, give him my number. I give him my number.
Yeah.
This motherfucker never calls me.
In my defense,
I see him weeks later. Like, hey, what the fuck? You didn't call me. And he's like, in his defense, go.
In my defense, well, when you finally saw me, and, a lot of time had passed, and you were like, yo, you didn't call me. I was like, that's when it hit me. Oh, this nigga was serious.
No, but that's what you
meant
said.
it.
That's what you said. You said
because so many people
you said,
give me the number.
I get that same spiel all the time, and I call and they never come through. I just thought you were that fucking...
I thought you were being Hollywood.
Yeah, no.
It's Hollywood.
I work very hard not to be Hollywood.
Hey, I didn't know that.
I work tremendously hard. I'm never going to be the let's do lunch guy. If I say let's do lunch, motherfucker, we going to eat within 2 hours.
Right.
Like, I'm not that guy. I try because I hate it so much.
Yeah, I had no idea. It's great,
But now, then like maybe the second time I saw him and said you didn't call me, then he called and maybe like 3 weeks later we were on the road.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
boom.
man, very like that, and that doesn't really happen, very few times. So it was just nice to see that, and it's positive reinforcement, to see like, man, that's dope. But So many
Shout out to
people.
Tracy. Shout out to Tracy Morgan, because when I was Tracy Morgan's opening act, he told me, "You don't owe me anything." Like, this motherfucker was Tracy. He was Tracy Morgan at the time,
Right?
And was like, "Yo, I want Tone, come with me to fucking New Jersey. We go to we in Piscataway this weekend." And I would just go because he said so, right? And one night he's in the green room, and Tracy Morgan holds court in the green room.
Yeah.
Like, he was just everything he learned.
And that's him. That's not an act.
Right? No,
right?
not an act. Everything he learned and the stuff he wants me to know about the business, he would just talk, and I would just take it all in. And I held on to as much as I possibly could. And he said, out of the blue, he just goes, "Hey, yo, you don't owe me nothing, man. You don't owe me nothing. Just when you in my seat, when you in the big seat, you do the same thing for the next comic. I'm in the big seat, you in the little seat. But when you in the big seat, you do the same thing for the next comic." And that's what I've always tried to do. You, Leonard Oots, Jordan, Trey Elliott, Joe Fox,
Nice,
you know,
nice crew, solid.
just guys that I go, "Hey man, this guy's funny.
Yeah.
He made me laugh, so I think the world should see him, and he should make some money on the road and, you know, have a good time."
And see, if more black people did that, we
That's-
would.
Yeah, that's like the bigger thing. I'm trying to
Yeah.
just help my people. I'm trying to
Yeah.
lead by example.
Because everybody, I don't know, people don't know this when they listen. Everybody you just named is black.
Yeah, I'm
is
cognizant
huge.
of the responsibility that we have to each other. That's not lost on me.
Huge,
My
man.
mother was a school teacher.
Yeah.
My father drove a truck. I conduct myself like my mother's a school teacher and my father drives a truck.
Wow. Yeah.
I can't be Hollywood. I came from the bottom, bro. I
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, man, and it shows. It's great. And then obviously, you know, I'm gonna pay it forward, and we all want to do that. I
Right,
just wish,
right.
but there's like, I don't get that thing with black people, celebrities who they think that like, because white people help each other all the time,
Right.
and that's how they elevate each other. But black people, they sometimes like there's black headliners. We don't have to name any names, but I'm thinking about one who's like specifically removes black people.
Aries Spears. No, I'm kidding. yo, Aries, I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you.
It's the first time anybody's ever called Aries Spears a headliner.
I'm fucking
Yeah. Aries Spears is a headliner.
Yo, I'm fucking with you, bro.
Yo, hey, listen. No. It is real people that do that though.
Yes.
And it's like, it's such a sick mentality, you know, of black. I want to see us, you know, help each other out. There's no
Damn,
one.
I want to say so many. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to address that on so many levels. Like, okay, so I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like the headliner that brings a weak feature.
Say more about that. Right.
So they
Yeah.
look better.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You're doing a disservice to the whole show. You know what I mean? Your ego is so involved that you're going to bring a weak feature, somebody you know is weak,
Right.
so that the show doesn't get good
Yeah.
until you go on. And most of the times, the guys that do that, they aren't that good either.
Right.
So the show doesn't really get good when
Right.
you get on. It gets a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't get good.
Uh-huh.
I used to bring a feature on the road. We don't talk as much as we used to, but I'm not gonna say his name. But we had a thing where he would try to beat me every night. He would go on and try to murder the room and come off the stage like, "Hey man, I think I got you tonight. I think I got you." And I would go, "All right, well, let's see." And I would go out and get him and then come off like, "What you think?" He's like, "Fuck, yeah, you won. But that's the type of energy I wanted, because
Right.
I want the room to leave like that was the best fucking show we saw from beginning to end. I don't have an ego when it comes to stand-up.
Right. Right.
There are bigger comics than me. There are guys that made way more money than me. There are guys that are doing more dates and touring more, and people, when they say, "What's your top 5?" they're always in it, and I'm not in it.
Right.
So
right.
I can't have an ego.
Yeah.
I'm following my brother every time I touch a microphone. So I can't have an ego.
Right.
So why would I discredit the whole show by trying to make myself look good? I'm one of 10 children, so I understand the pecking order of, hey man, let the other guy shine too, you know? I wouldn't put my brothers down. If a girl said, "Hey, I like
Right.
your brother," I wouldn't go, "Hey, you know, you shouldn't talk." I
Yeah.
understand, like, it takes nothing away from you to let the next guy have his. You know
There's
what I mean?
enough for everybody.
Right. But that's the thing. Now, the second part was, you said white guys do it all the time, because I think white people in general, not in comedy, in the world, have an understanding that there is enough for them.
There's enough to go
for
around.
them. They know.
Yeah.
I'll get the next one.
Right.
We act like this is the only one.
Yes. Yeah.
We act like, yo, this is the only helicopter off the island.
And it's not.
Right?
It's not.
White people know, like, hey
Yeah.
man, the helicopter comes on schedule. It's another one.
That's
You know
another
what I'm saying?
one.
I'll catch the next
15
one.
minutes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So we act like it's
Yeah.
get to the chopper every time. Like I'm like I gotta fucking get out of here.
The chopper.
And if I let you go, then
Yeah.
I'm stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's all. And it's fucked
Niggas
up.
like hanging on.
Yeah,
and
it's
shit.
fucked up. I
Just
wish we wouldn't
wait.
do
Yeah.
that for each other. And I wish if you did have that mentality, then at least try to create an opportunity
Right.
so that the next guy doesn't get stuck on the island. Like you in the
Yeah,
you in the
yeah.
big seat. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. How can I
Yeah.
How can I use my time to create something so the next guy will have it a little easier?
Right. And it does it is a very it goes past race because it's comedians, white people in general do it in society. But I
Right.
think
Right.
speaking on the thing where people bring in weaker comics, that I think it comes with ego, and it also is like a laziness too. You know, it's like they don't want to like
Right.
you go out, you're working. You know, so it's like the environment you create, it's tools sharpening other tools.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
But they
absolutely.
don't want that. And that's why I think your continued work, it's like, how does it feel to be the funniest rock right now?
Now that's Jordan.
I mean,
Jordan Rock, my favorite
he up
comedian.
there? Yeah, he's up there.
Nah,
You know.
look, I'm just glad that people,
Yeah.
especially when it's three brothers.
Right.
I'm just very happy that people say, "Hey, I like Tony." You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I could be the one that they go, "He's the whack one." You know, 'cause there are some siblings out there that's like,
Yeah.
people go, "That guy." If you ask
Yeah.
the consensus is that guy's the whack one
For sure.
So I'm just happy that people go, "Nah, Tony's my favorite." Somebody might go Jordan. Somebody,
Yeah.
of course, they say Chris. But
But
I'm
is
just
it-
happy that people go, "Nah, I like Tony."
Well, and I feel like it maybe it's because it's
Excuse me.
it's a healthy sort of competitiveness maybe. Where you
Like when you're that many siblings,
Uh-huh.
it's always that thing.
Right,
when,
right.
When we played Little League,
Yeah.
I remember one year, my mother has the picture in her house. We played Little League baseball, and it's a picture of me and my brother Chris. He's holding the championship trophy.
Mm-hmm.
His team won, and I'm holding the second place trophy. I might put that shit when I do my special. I might put that picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's literally he has the fucking big trophy,
Yeah.
and I have the like participation, and that kind of speaks to our
That's great.
dynamic. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
I should. Yeah, when the special ends, I'll have that picture just come
You
up.
should. When is it? What's this? When did you say?
The date has been changed. It was actually supposed to be Valentine's Day. Yeah, in New York, but the date had to change because of COVID and rules and regulations and all that stuff. And then
Yeah.
I'm such a stickler on material. I probably did myself a disservice by. Like I was supposed to submit the hour and I didn't submit the hour, and I was supposed to submit the hour and I didn't submit the hour, and then I sent the hour in and I'm like, I know I want to change that. So I just gotta formulate an hour,
Yeah.
and then turn it in and just say, okay, I'm gonna live with it.
Right.
You know, because I'll change it 20 times if you
Yeah.
give me the time to. So I just gotta find the
That's
hour
another thing.
and
You
submit
got-
it and say that's it.
You got hours.
And then, but this is the thing, like you on the road with me.
Right,
I
yeah.
come off stage and go to the green room, and it's like, oh shit, I can write that down, and
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
bit, and I'm gonna change that. So it's always changing. It's like
Yeah.
no bit is ever done in my estimation.
No, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld. I heard him say that was just they're always babies. They're working on it.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And even when you put it on a special, it's just kind of like, well, I have to stop working on it.
Right, and then you see a lot of times
Yeah.
some comics have specials, and they have a joke in the next special that's very similar. You know why? Because they realize that one wasn't the best version of that joke.
Yeah.
So they do another version of that.
Yeah, they just it keeps growing.
Right.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited too because it seems like there's a lot of comedy specials out there that aren't really funny
And that's why. Well, you know what? I was always told like, and it's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to do because you will look at specials. You will look at 10 specials and go, I laughed at 3 of them, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And you can't be mad at the other 7 people that got a special because you got to look at it like, hey, that guy was lucky.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be the lucky guy. You want to be the guy that got it because you're good.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to take a little longer for me, but
Right.
as long as I'm not the lucky guy, I don't want people to say, hey, he's lucky. I want people to say, damn, Tone,
Right.
finally. I want the world to see what I've been telling people about this motherfucker.
Yeah. It's coming, man. Yeah, for sure. People already know it, you know.
Thank you, brother.
The podcast, you thinking about it?
Now that I'm
Yeah.
sitting here and I'm talking to you,
Come on,
I'm
man.
just saying, maybe there's a lane for me in this podcast world.
Maybe. Come on,
Maybe
yeah.
there's a lane for me. I as you can see, I enjoy. If you're talking comedy,
Yeah.
If we're talking boxing, if we're talking family, sports,
Yeah.
I could fucking talk your ear off. So I'm trying. Right now, I'm trying to be cognizant not to talk over you because I'm like,
No, yeah.
we're talking comedy.
This
So I'm
is
like,
it.
I keep cutting you off and shit. You're gonna go back when I'm leaving here like I gotta fucking edit this shit because he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
No,
But it's
no,
just
no.
the thing that I'm very passionate about.
He's just going to put it all on me. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
yeah. Why didn't you stop that? Mute his mic or something.
No, please do all of the work. That's it. I'm just trying to book people that I don't really have to talk, you know. That's
And you gave me a beer, so now I got the liquor in me. I'm gonna fucking talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoy it, man.
that's how we do
And
it.
as I told
Yeah,
you,
you want another one?
give me a minute. Let's keep it going. But as I told you in the Laugh Factory that night, I always enjoy talking to you.
Oh, I
When we have
appreciate that. Me
conversations
too.
in the club,
Yeah.
when we're on the road, and we're in the green room, I'm like, damn, I really enjoy talking to this dude. He has a very, I like people that have a specific point of view. Like, I don't like people who, depending on who they talking to, that's what they believe in.
I hate that, man.
You know,
Yeah,
I got a
they
friend that does that.
change.
It's like, I was on the fence. Talks to me, yeah, man, that dude was wrong. Talks to that dude, yeah, Tone shouldn't have did that. Like, come on, man. Stand on what you believe in and be
Yeah.
a man about it. And,
Yeah.
and that's what you do. You say your point and you defend that shit like vigorously, and I really respect that.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think you're right. I spent a lot of time, I think, just figuring out what I think.
Right.
And so I'm able to, but I think a lot of people, like, they just hop on
Right.
whatever's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. Like the media plays a big part in that too, where they tell
What
people
they see the most, they go,
Right.
that must be the
That's what I
thread
think.
that everybody's following.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
You know
And you
what
got the Malcolm X glasses, so I feel like I'm in a diner in 70s Harlem.
I mean? Listen, man.
I feel like a pimp that's like, hey, Malcolm, I just came to ask you a few questions, brother.
Yeah.
These hoes is acting up.
Listen, man. Put the pork down. All right. Who taught you to hate yourself? Huh? Let me tell you about the outer road. No, shout out to
The
Malcolm
idea
X.
that he's Malcolm X wearing that sweatshirt.
Oh
is-
yeah, this is,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out to
I feel like what was Nikki not Nikki Bonds? Who did Denzel play? Frank Lucas. Who was Frank Lucas's boss?
I know who you're talking about. I can't.
Frank
think
Lucas's
of,
boss.
Frank
Can we pull
Lucas.
that up?
Yeah.
And we should know this as black people. It's Black History Month. We should know.
Yeah. Is it
Nikki,
still?
it was not Nikki Bonds.
No. Damn, I know. who
Come
you're
on,
talking
white
about.
guy, quick on the
Yeah.
computer.
I'm get it.
But
Bumpy Johnson.
Bumpy Johnson.
Bumpy.
I feel like Bumpy. Okay, now we get hold for edit.
Okay.
Bumpy Johnson.
I feel like Bumpy Johnson sitting here talking to Malcolm
Yeah.
X.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I feel like.
Man, I'm honored, man. Listen, you know, I feel like I am passionate. I think you,
And I say that because I got to get back to my hoes after this podcast. So I feel like
yo, man, don't we all, man? Hoes, that's the shout out to the hoes out there.
no, but like get back to what you. I don't want to miss the point you were trying to make. You said you took a lot of time to decide what you like.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right. And when I did that, so how I did that was I would go to both sides of an argument, right?
Okay.
I would take in both sides, whether I agree with it or not, and then honestly go, what do I actually think? Because a lot of people go one side, whatever they turn on TV, whatever,
Right.
celebrity, anything that
Right.
fucking, you know, The Rock or anybody tweets, I like that. But then I do go to the other side, and a lot of times I find out the other side is, you know, bullshit. But sometimes
Right.
there's merit. you
Right,
know?
right.
And that's what I think combines it. I can see stuff on a you know, nuanced level.
Right.
Where I think a lot of people are just like Obama, for instance, is a perfect example of one of the ways that kind of like I love Obama. You know what I mean? But like I don't feel like we have to act like he didn't mess up. And there were so Obama pretty much to America, like he was like a moderate Republican. You know, just policy wise. But because he was so dynamic and he was the first black president.
Charismatic.
I mean, he killed that shit.
Smooth,
You know what I mean?
well-read.
Absolutely.
Handsome.
Oh, yeah.
well-dressed.
Sexy.
Well-groomed.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he could sing
in
too.
shape. Play
Yeah.
basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, just come out just
He checked a lot of boxes for black people. Yeah, absolutely.
And so we kind of like checked out mentally. And so I think too, some black people are like, well, I can't criticize Obama.
Right.
I gotta defend him. But it's like, you know, I think we can have a complicated opinion on the first black president. Obviously, there's only so much he can do.
Absolutely.
But then when it comes to our relationship, and we talk about this a lot, black community with Democrats, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
And we gotta like address some shit. You know, shout out to Joe Biden.
Nah, you shout out Joe Biden. you shout out Joe Biden.
Joe, I know he's watching. He's a fan. Biden, man, get it together.
Hey, listen here, Jack.
Yeah.
You got your ketchup in one hand, you got your mustard in the other.
Yeah.
You don't vote for me, you ain't black. Really?
You ain't black.
Really?
Yeah, but he said that, and that's the kind of thinking that like, and he's talking to Charlemagne.
Talking to the whole Breakfast Club.
Yeah, the whole. So it's like, but, and he said it kind of tongue in cheek, but he meant that because that's the Democratic Party relationship with black people.
Right. Absolutely.
They know they never have to give us anything.
Right.
Because we're going to vote for him because we're so afraid of Trump.
Politicians talk to black people like the fine chick they trying to fuck. A lot of promises.
Yeah.
Then you get the pussy, which is getting the office.
Right.
And then you put your clothes on and leave.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're not going to call me? Bitch, I got the pussy. What
Exactly,
what I
yeah.
call you for?" So we need to hold the pussy hostage.
Hold the pussy accountable.
Hold the pussy. No, they don't give the pussy away. We got to be like, if you getting it, you're going to do something for us too.
Right.
So I wish there was. I said this years ago. I wish there was some kind of way to, if there was somebody running for office. Okay, we'll vote for you, but we need these 2 or 3 things done before you get in office.
Right.
As a gesture of good faith.
Yeah.
We had a spokesperson. If we had like a Malcolm X or Dr. King to say, "Hey, listen, I am in control of the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna vote the way I say. I need this, this, and this done as a gesture of good faith."
Right.
Or show your face here and at least walk with us for this. As a gesture of good faith, and then we put you in office, and we need these things done.
Yeah.
Because
a black agenda.
It's always I'm gonna deliver, and it's never a delivery.
It never does, and also it's not like they can't put pen to paper because they have written legislation. You know this for other communities.
Listen, they said stop Asian hate. The next day he released that Stop Asian Hate bill.
Exactly.
They said LGBTQ. The next day he released the LGBTQ bill.
Right.
Only bill he released. I said this on stage one night, and the crowd went crazy. Only bill he released for us was Cosby.
Yo, shout out to Cosby. He's out, man.
Hey.
Yeah, but that's right. Like he didn't, and he could. You know what I mean?
And by the way, he didn't release Cosby for black people. Like, I don't want you to get a shitload of emails like that was fucking ignorant.
No, yeah, Cosby, man.
He released Cosby for everybody.
Exactly. That's a win for the culture, the whole culture.
That's America's dad.
Yeah,
America's dad, man.
That shows you how fucked up America is. That's America's dad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Playboy Mansion. Things you should know. Really? Do we really need? Do you think we thought they wasn't fucking them young girls in the Playboy Mansion?
Yo, the Playboy Mansion. Did you ever go?
I came this close to getting a blowjob at the Playboy Mansion.
Wow.
I mean, I was so close.
It's good that you didn't though.
This wasn't when Cosby was there. This was like maybe 5 years ago. Like. I said 865.
It was 86543. It was last week.
About 6 years ago. About 6 years ago.
Okay, well, that 6. Yeah. Oh, so but you came this close. What happened? Did you just?
The girl was like, people were saying hi to me, and this girl was just like, fine white girl was just like, "Who are you? Everybody knows you." Because it was basketball players there, so they're like, "Yo, Rock, what up?" And their handlers were there, so they knew me. Yo, can I get a picture? And she was just like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, I don't know why they're doing this. I'm nobody. And then my manager was there, and she went over to him and was like, "Who is he?" And he's like, "You don't know who that is? Well, you should know who he is." And then she just was like, full court press. And we was like taking a little walk around the Playboy Mansion, and the grotto was there. And they doing the grotto, and I'm like, "What goes on in the grotto?" And come on, we should go in. I didn't want to get in the water.
Yeah.
I ain't want to get wet,
Yeah.
And she was like, "Come on, we'll have fun." And it was like in my lap, ready to go. And then people were coming in. I'm not trying to get my dick sucked in front of strangers.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like it's.
Not that I haven't done it before, but
really,
I didn't want to be like walking back to the hors d'oeuvres like, "Hey." I was close.
Damn, man, it seems like a good.
But
time.
I think it's the worst documentary ever. Like the secrets of the Playboy Mansion. Do you really think we thought all this time that them rich, old white billionaires wasn't fucking them 18-year-old white girls in there
they were.
and passing drugs around? Come on, bro. We know what was going on in there. The 70s and the 80s. Oh, it was cocaine there? Really? Get out of here. Was it cocaine there? I didn't know. I thought y'all was baking cookies the whole time. Get the fuck out of here. It was a waste of film.
Yeah, I don't get that.
That's the beer talking. Shout out to Hugh Hefner.
Well, that's an interesting point. Hugh Hefner, he was a guy who was like, 90 or something? I don't know how old he was. But like, he was old as fuck. But he always had like 2 18-year-olds.
Nobody had a problem with it.
Nobody had a problem with that. And now you get people, there's even some comedians and celebrities get in trouble for liking them a little younger. But it's kind of like...
Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
People had problems with Hugh Hefner, though.
Mark Maron has the best joke ever about underage girls. Mm-hmm. Mark Maron said, and I'm giving Mark Maron this is entirely his bit. I do not own the rights to this joke. Mark Maron said, everybody wants to fuck an 18-year-old. That's why there's a law. And I was like, man, that's a fucking good ass joke.
Yeah, that's right. We had to come to an agreement.
Shout out to Mark Maron.
Yeah, Mark.
He's watching.
Yeah, good friend of the show. But yeah, there's a line. What's interesting to me about it is the laws differ in different states. So it can be 18 in one state, but then you go to another state and it's 16. So it's legally okay.
Yeah.
It's just weird, but it's like, what
That's
is this?
super weird.
Yeah, I'm like, what? It should just be across the board, right? Like one thing.
There's a lot of laws that should be across the board, but they aren't.
That's true.
And Texas is a fucking open carry state. You could literally walk down the street with a gun in your hand, or hanging out your pocket.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, man.
Texas you do that shit in New York, 3 years.
3 years?
3 years for a gun in New York.
Still,
and they don't care. They don't care. They're not debate. That no 3 years.
Man, but were you there when New York was like it was like a crime kind of?
I'm born and raised.
Yeah. So what did you?
I was there through the blackout. I was there through the shootouts. I was there through the everything.
And what side were you on? Were you robbing or getting robbed?
No. I was a kid. Okay. I just remember. And you know what's funny? When you're a kid, this is the beauty of family, and the beauty of community. Mm-hmm. When you grow up in the inner city, in the hood, in the ghetto, whatever you want to call it, you don't know it.
Right. Exactly.
I'm 4 years old. 4-year-old Tony Rock did not know, hey, there isn't proper health care here.
Right.
5-year-old Tony Rock didn't know, hey, the schools here are worse than the schools. I didn't know that. Oh my God. Yeah. I was outside. I would play in vacant lots.
Yeah.
We would throw bricks and
having a good time. At each other? Bricks?
Flick bottles in the air, and we would, it was just our surroundings.
Yeah.
So when you're a kid, you just embrace whatever your surrounding is. Mm-hmm. Even when you're a young man, you embrace whatever your surrounding is. And that's what makes you aspirational, because you see that there are other people living differently than you. And that's when you start to aspire. Right. And then once you start to aspire, now your surroundings dictate your aspiration. Yeah. Because if you're in the hood and you're in the ghetto and you see the drug dealer or the criminal is the guy that's getting money and has the car you saw on TV and has the women, then some of my friends turn that way. Or if you had a strong family structure and they taught you that work ethic and hard work, we went that way. So I have friends that are like real, like I tell people all the time, and they think I'm joking. I haven't changed my phone number since the day I switched from a beeper to a cell phone. Oh, really? Because I have friends in jail that I still want to be able to contact me. Wow. I don't want to ever lose the contact with them. Yeah. They went that way, I went that way, but they still my friends. They're in jail. They doing biblical years. But I still want them to be able to like, hey, Tone never switched up on me.
That's great, man. Yeah, and that's something that obviously comes from strong parents.
Oh yeah, my parents were the best ever, ever. My grandparents, my parents would send me to South Carolina every summer. Right. I spend the summer in South Carolina. So I tell people all the time, I'm a city boy with country values. I'm still yes ma'am, no ma'am. I hold the door. I'm very respectful to my elders, because that was my South Carolina in the summer. Right. But then I would come back to New York and it was like, yo, what the fuck I missed? Yo, this thing got shot. Yo, son, they fought so-and-so, and yo, shorty pregnant, and oh shit, that's crazy. And we would buy clothes from the boosters and, ride in stolen cars and shit like that. And in the summertime, I'm down south. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Right. But
so
that
had the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it balanced you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, to where you're not like a terrible person.
I'm not a terrible person. I thank the Lord I'm not a terrible person. Shout out to Rose Rock and Julius Rock for me not being a terrible person.
Yeah, man. I grew up in Detroit. There was a lot of that stuff you was talking about, and I saw that. A lot of my friends chose that route. I actually tried to sell drugs one time. I just wasn't good at it. So
please tell me about that experience.
I mean, I tried. My friend, he wouldn't let. So I remember I'm in high school, and I see everybody's like exchanging money in little bags and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, hey, what's up? I needed some money, so I'm like, yeah, man, can I like get in on this? And he was like, nah.
He said, get out of here, Malcolm. Yeah, but that's the thing.
But he was like,
the hood is so, like I said, a sense of family and a sense of community.
Yeah, they can smell my father on me.
The inner city, let's just say the ghetto. Yeah, okay, no, I'll say inner city. I don't like the word ghetto. The inner city,
the hood.
Yeah. The hood. There's such a sense of community in the hood that people don't know about.
Right.
That when they know that you have an opportunity to live outside of this, they won't even let you participate.
They wouldn't. I tried.
Like, I was a kid. I never forget this. I was in the barbershop on Howard Avenue in Chauncey. And my man, June, may he rest in peace. There was a guy that owed him some money. He came in the barbershop The guy confronted the guy. I think the guy was in the barber chair, getting the cut, had the cape around him and everything, like, and still was like, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. You get the money when I give it to you, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And June was like, okay. Left the barbershop, came back in like 5 minutes later, walked in, turned around, locked the door, pulled out 2 of the biggest guns I ever seen to this day.
Damn.
Looked around the barbershop, saw me, turned back, opened the door, and said, Tone, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
And I did not get a haircut that day. And I left because he knew the lifestyle he was living.
Right.
Tone had a chance to not be a part of this. Tone, get out.
Yeah,
And I just got out of the barbershop.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. It was a lot of that. My childhood was a lot of that. My childhood was a lot of, I'm in the park playing basketball. There's a fight. Tone, get out of here.
Get out of here, man. Yeah.
I'm in the game room. They had the arcades with the video games. I'm in there playing, and there's a fight. Tony, get out of here.
It's so weird. Yeah, I had the same experience. But that's one thing that hopefully other people can understand is when you're in that situation, you can get out. And I think a lot of the people, they resort to whatever it is because they don't understand that there's another way, not even just entertainment. You know what I mean? Like at a young age, just knew I was going to be a comedian, do stand-up. But like a lot of people think that, well, I don't want to be in entertainment, so I got to like sell drugs. But it's like,
I can't play ball, so
I can't play ball, so I gotta fucking, you know what I mean? And it's like there's so many other options. Like I met this one person one time. She gets paid to shop for people. Yeah, that's a fucking job.
I have a stylist.
There you go. Yeah. It's like, but they don't even understand.
Shout out to Iman. She buys me weird clothes every once in a while because she's on. She thinks left brain.
You have a stylist. Also, every time I see you, it's not you.
No. Today is like,
okay.
But when I'm like, if I got a show, I'll call her like, hey, I'm doing. I'll tell her like a rundown of 5 cities. Hey, I'm doing Atlanta. I'm doing Chicago. I'm doing blah, blah, blah. I need. And she'll just like pull stuff and like this. Okay, we keep it. And then a lot of times I'll wear an outfit and I don't know. She has some kind of amazing juice card. I could wear an outfit, give it back to her. She has it cleaned and take it back to the store. So it doesn't cost me. I pay her, but it doesn't cost me for the $5,000 jacket I had on. It doesn't cost me at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's like a cool hookup.
Man, that's perfect. Yeah, I was never like a clothes guy.
Really?
But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like never rubbed off on me. I was like, I guess nerdier. I was playing like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff like that. Like we was all. That's probably why the guy he was like, no man, don't say you can't sell this.
You can't.
You play a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. So I couldn't.
Hey man, listen, this is like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, okay? And the people coming up to you, they are addicted to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Now I did start selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Did you really?
To my whole so yeah, I like took what they were doing with drugs and applied it to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I made money.
There you go. It's all about applying what you know
exactly
in the spectrum that
to
you
get out.
Listen, you have a chance to escape the shadow dimension that we all exist in right now.
Yeah, yo, fellow Yu-Gi-Oh head over there. Fucking yeah. But I left quick Detroit. Like I was like, let me get out to Cali, and I'm glad.
And you know what's funny? People don't know. I met his mother and his brother.
Yep. Yeah.
Your brother looks like you went that way, and he said, I'm going over here.
He did, yeah, exactly.
That motherfucker looked like, yo, the show was over. His mother was like, oh, that was so funny. You guys are so entertaining. His brother was like this. Yeah, that was good shit. I said, oh, this is your fucking brother. Okay, don't fuck with Trey, because he definitely has a killer in the family.
Yeah. He did. We're covering all the different ends of the spectrum.
That motherfucker looked like first 48.
Yeah. No, he's doing his thing. You know, musician.
Oh, is he really? Okay,
yeah, rapper, all that. Shout out, Nate.
Shout out to Nate.
Nate, man. Rogang, I think that's his name. But
Rogang?
Yeah. That's his
one word?
Instagram. Yeah, Rogang.
Rogang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
I thought you were saying a Rogaine. Like
no.
Yeah.
Rogang. Gang. No. Like, yeah, thugs and stuff.
Black dude with a toupee. Rogang.
Yeah, that's a great. I joined that.
You don't need to.
Exactly. No. He's got it covered. And
I'm saying you don't need to join Rogaine.
Yeah. I get. Where's your afro at, man? Black History. It's Black History Month,
I got this.
The fist. No, man. Yeah, it was great getting out of that environment, getting up, here, and just being, exposed.
Were you doing stand up in Detroit, or did you just leave immediately?
A little bit, yeah.
Where'd you perform in Detroit?
It's Margaret Ridley's. Have you been
there?
Ridley's?
Yeah, I've been to Ridley's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would go there and they wouldn't put me up for like months. I was like so mad. And then one day they put me up, but I was like, well, just let me do some time.
Right.
But it was like you had to sign up, and I was never getting picked. And then one day I did.
Are
But-
you familiar with Coco's House of Comedy?
Oh my God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You ever performed there?
No. I didn't. They didn't. Like I was so new.
Okay, can I tell you a story?
Yeah,
I'll try to keep it short, but so I had an agent. This is years and years and years ago. I had an agent. I'm not going to say his name, who was addicted to cocaine. Okay. My PA agent that booked my road stuff, and he would call me and say, "Hey, I got you a gig in Cleveland." Just throwing cities out in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. 4 shows Thursday through Saturday. You're gonna get. This was early, so it'll be like you're gonna get $2,500.
Yeah.
I'll take my commission now because I won't be here next week when you get back. And I would give him the money.
Okay. Right.
And I would go to Cleveland and it would be no gig. I would literally book a flight, fly there, there would be no gig. And I would come home and have to find this motherfucker and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. But I got a gig for you next week."
Wait a minute.
It would be, "Hey, Dallas, Texas."
Yeah.
The not the funny, it'll be like Hyenas or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're gonna do a show Friday and Saturday. It's $3,000. I got you, bro. No commission because I messed up the last. And I would go and it would be a gig.
Yeah.
And I would get paid and we even now. And he would do that every so often.
Yeah.
And then one time he hit me and said, "Hey man, I got this big show for you. Detroit Ridley's Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle, what's it called?"
Yep, Mark Ridley's
Comedy Castle.
Oh, he booked you there.
It's a Thursday through a Sunday. It's a $5,000 gig, and I had never gotten a $5,000 gig before.
Oh, really?
So this was early. This was like my
Right.
4th, 5th year in comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah. He goes, "Once again, I need to get the commission now because I'm going to take off. Me and my girlfriend are going to whatever for the weekend." So I land at the airport. There's nobody there to pick me up. I don't know what hotel I'm staying in.
Yeah.
I don't know where the club is, but I'm very self-sufficient. This is early on. So I
Right.
go to the phone booth, the pay phone.
Damn.
And I take the yellow pages and I call hotels. "Hey, did Tony Rock check in yet?" There's no
Just
Tony
random.
Rock. There's no Tony Rock here. "Hey, did Tony Rock check in yet?" "No, there's Tony." I called the Athenaeum. "Did Tony Rock check in yet?" "No, he didn't." "Okay, I'm staying at the Athenaeum." I jump in a taxi. I take it to the Athenaeum. I check in. I go to my room. I'm like, okay, this will be one of those stories I tell when I'm sitting on the couch at Letterman. That's what any shitty thing that happened to me and when I first started out was like, yo, when I'm on Letterman, this is gonna be a great story.
Or the Trey Stewart program.
Or the Trey Stewart program. So, exactly. So, now I have the number to the club.
Yeah.
I call to see what the particulars are. What time show start, what time should I be there, who's the host, who's the feature. I'm calling what I think is Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. I call the number. "Coco's House of Comedy." Excuse me? "Coco's House of Comedy." This isn't Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle? "No." "Hey, is Tony Rock on the show tonight?" "Yeah, they say he might stop by tonight." "Okay, thank you. What time show start?" Show starts at 8. Okay, I hang up the phone. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I was at Mark. All right, you know what? This will be a great story for Letterman. I go downstairs. I taxis in front of the hotel. "Hey, man, can you tip me to Coco's House of Comedy?" Literally, "Nah, bro, we don't go over there." "You don't go over there? What the fuck?" It's a guy standing outside. He hears me talking to the cab driver. He's like, "Where you trying to go, bro?" "Coco's House of Comedy."
Yeah.
And the dude works at the hotel. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to get off in 10 minutes. If you could wait, I'll drive you over there." I go, "Bet." Again, this will be a great story I tell him later.
Yeah. Damn.
Dude goes, signs out, comes out, pulls his car around. I jump in the car with this stranger. Drives me to Coco's House of Comedy.
This is before Uber, yeah.
Before Uber,
Yeah.
it was only
Oh,
taxis.
yeah.
So I get there, and as we're driving, I could see the streets are changing.
Oh, yeah.
It's vacant lot, questionable person on the corner.
Yeah.
Street light shot out.
Man.
Stop sign knocked down. I'm like,
You see
oh,
any
this
dogs?
is about to be it right here.
Yeah.
Pulls up in front. He's like, "Yo, good luck, bro," and drives off.
Good luck.
I walk in the comedy club. I tell a young lady at the front, "Hey, I'm Tony Rock." "Yeah, they said you was gonna come by tonight." Okay, so now I'm in the comedy club. I see a bunch of comics mulling around in the corner talking to each other. I walk over. I realize they smoking a joint. They passing it around. Yo, y'all know who hosting tonight? Who's doing what? Foolish. You know Foolish?
Yes,
Foolish is like,
absolutely.
yo, I'm the host.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so what's the run? I'm in my mind the headliner.
Right.
What's the run of the show? All right, yo, they said you was gonna stop by. And shout out to Foolish. This is no knock to Foolish. He didn't know, but I thought that it was a different dynamic. You know what I mean? Host feature headliner. And I go, what's going? Yo, I'm gonna go up first. I'm gonna bring up so and so and this one and that one and this one. I bring you up. You give me like a hot 10, and then I'll bring up so and so and so and so, and then I'll close it out. I'm still thinking I'm the headliner, so I go, hey, bro, how about you do the hot 10 and I close it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm closing the show, but you could do a later spot if you want and do 15, 20. And
Yeah.
Yeah, how about we do that? Because I'm thinking I flew all the way here. I had to find my hotel. At least let me do 20, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not knowing what the audience was.
Man.
So he goes on stage and does his thing. And they loving him. He's killing. And he goes, this is my intro. All right, y'all ready for some shit? This next motherfucker from New York. And the room literally says, yo, fuck New York. And I'm like, oh, wait, what the fuck? Wait. And I'm like, I'm new. Yeah. So I literally come out. It's almost as if you walked out. Like, I walk out like, hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
And they're like, get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah. And I'm like, so Bill Clinton said yesterday that he would, and they're like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? And I'm like, oh, this ain't working. Like, and I don't want to bomb.
Right.
And the Lord works in mysterious ways. I look over and I see a lone white man sitting in the club by himself with a drink. And I do 20 minutes on this motherfucker. I just go, what the fuck is this white guy doing here? What are you, lost? You know how they say the man did it? You the man. Literally the man is in the room. And I was like, you must came to get some black girl. You like black pussy, or you the guy that brought the coke. Man. You brought the crack to the community. You just drop it off a bag of coke. Like I just ran with him, and they this nigga crazy. And I just say good night and jump off stage.
That's so
now.
Funny.
Guess what? I got to get back to the hotel.
Wait, did you call the guy?
I don't have his number. Show's over. Now
you didn't get his number?
I'm literally standing outside, and the people that were in the room, some of the people that were in the room are now across the street going, yo, what's up now, what's up, New York? Fuck you gonna do now, New York? You a long way from home. And they throwing up gang signs, and I'm like,
damn,
holy shit. Like, I just want to tell jokes.
Right.
I go back in the club. I go to the kitchen. Dude that was cooking the chicken strips, I go, hey, my man, can I give you $25 to drive me back to the Athenaeum? And he's like, yeah, give me a few minutes, bro. And he, like half hour later, he comes out like, yo, I got you. Drive me to the hotel. I get to the hotel. I'm like, okay, one night down. I got to do this for 2 more nights. Fuck it, if that's what it takes.
I love that you're like, yeah, I'm going to go back.
I'm going back. And next morning, I get a good sleep.
Yeah.
Next morning, I wake up. I go, eat downstairs. I walk around a little bit of downtown Detroit. And I call the club, and I say, hey, is Tony Rock there tonight? And the girl goes, nah, he stopped by last night. And I'm like, he's not on the show tonight? No. And I hang up the phone, pack my shit, go back to the airport, and I tell them it's a family emergency. I got to get back home. And the lady lets me get on the plane, and I fly back to New York.
Damn,
and
man.
I get back to L.A., and I fire that agent. I leave the agency, and I don't know whatever happened to that guy.
But you gave him a lot of chances, it sounds
like. I gave him a lot of chances, and that's how much I thought getting on stage was paramount to anything else.
Right. No matter what.
No matter what. If you got on stage, it's not a bad day.
So do you still feel that way?
Like I absolutely do.
So any opportunity, you won't pass down an opportunity to get on stage.
Most of I say this in very many podcasts and interviews, a lot of the good shit that has happened to me in my career has happened from me just being on stage and the right person seeing me. When I hosted the Apollo, I was at the Laugh Factory one night. Jamie Foxx was there with a bunch of people. I'm on stage. I'm killing. I'm riffing. I'm hosting the show, so I'm like having a great time.
Yeah.
And Jamie Foxx literally called me like 2 weeks later, invited me to his house.
Number already?
It's Jamie Foxx. He can get my fucking number.
Yeah.
He calls me, invites me to his house, and I go there, and he says, "I'm bringing the Apollo back."
No.
And I'm so not even. I'm in the frame of mind that I'm not thinking he's talking about for me. I'm literally thinking like, this guy won an Oscar. Like, why would he want to host the Apollo? And I'm like, that's maybe he loves the Apollo that much. Like, I go, so you gonna host it? And he goes, no, you are. He says, I saw you at the factory that night. That was perfect. I didn't no audition. I don't need to see nothing else. You the man. And hands me a job from being on stage that night.
That's great.
Yeah.
Everything comes from stand-up.
For me, I can't say the same thing's gonna happen for you.
Yeah.
I don't want people to watch this and go, I stay on stage and shit ain't happening. Fucking Tony Rock, because they will blame me for their shortcomings.
Yeah. Well,
but for me,
be better at comedy.
Staying on stage has always been the things happen for me.
Well, not just that you're on stage, but that you're crushing. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, because I think the
having good sets and being on stage at the right time. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
when the right person is in the room, have the right set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And so is that how you got All of Us?
I got all of us. I'm glad you brought that up. I got all of us. I'm on stage one night, and I have a great set, and I go back upstairs where the comics hang out, and somebody comes upstairs like, hey, Monica Swan wants to meet you. And I have no idea who Monica Swan is. I come downstairs and say hi. And she asked, are you auditioning for stuff? And I'm like, well, I'm going out here and there. Because I was out there for like pilot season. I'm going out here and there. And she's like, Will Smith is doing this sitcom. And he has this character that I think you are perfect for. Mm-hmm. And she sends it to my agency. They call me up like, hey, we got the material for Monica and your date, the audition is this day. And boom.
Yeah.
Because she saw me on stage.
Wow.
So for me, the proven formula has been, I'm going to keep my ass on stage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know about anybody else. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm going to keep my ass on stage.
That makes sense, man. That's everything I've happened. You know, we're only having this conversation because of...
You was on stage, right? Yeah, and I walked in and I was like, yo, this dude's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everything. I even booked a play one time from comedy.
Look at that, man. Keep your young comics out there. Keep your ass on stage.
Yes. Yeah. And so, do you like? Have you done like play or theater, or anything like that?
You
a thespian?
I want to do a play. And they were doing this play in Hollywood not too long ago. There was an actor in the room at the Laugh Factory, and he handed me a flyer to the play, and he was in it. And I said, dude, do you know this is my favorite movie of all time? They were doing the play, A Soldier Story. And I was like, fuck, I would love to do A Soldier Story. And he was like, yeah, I'm in it, man. You should come check it out. But I was busy. I didn't get a chance to go check it out. But I'm like, I would love to do A Soldier Story.
Yeah.
I would really, really enjoy that.
That's so interesting. I hated it.
You hated the play?
Well, it was just I hated the it just was so redundant after a while to say the same lines. I had like long monologues.
How many shows you do?
We ran for 6 weeks, did 2 shows, Friday and Saturday.
Right.
And but it was just kind of like I much rather do stand. I'm not an actor.
You want to improv. You want to just say what you want to say. Yeah.
I want to say whatever I want to say. I want to make jokes, but I have such a respect.
Yep.
For like theater,
like real trained actors. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I do as well.
It's crazy. Yeah. But I think I'd be more where Will Ferrell's always him. I can be if it's already naturally within my wheelhouse,
right?
I could do it.
You don't think you should stretch yourself as an actor? You don't consider yourself an actor right now, but
no.
Or is that something you're aspiring to?
Not really.
Really?
No,
you don't want to do. You don't want to do drama. You don't want to do like a.
I mean, I guess I would, but like I'm not. I wouldn't call myself an actor. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna Daniel Day-Lewis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he can't tell a fucking joke. So
that's right. Yeah,
I'm a comedian / actor. I'm a comedian first.
I think comedians.
But I would like to do.
Right, they are better actors though. Right,
I would like to do that role that people go, man, Tony Rock in a role unlike anything you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like I want to do that. I want to do the.
Right. Well, yeah, I think
want my friends to call me like, holy shit, dude, I didn't know you had that in you.
You ever take like classes?
I take classes, yeah.
Currently, oh well, that's it.
I take classes.
Yeah. I can't wait for that, man.
Yeah, man, you gotta. I wasn't actively taking classes as much as I should, but then I did Barry Katz. You know Barry Katz? I did Barry Katz podcast, and he said something interesting that really actually turned me around. And if you're watching this Barry Katz, this is shout out to you. He said, you're on stage. I forgot the numbers, but it was like, how many days do you think you're on stage in a week, and how many shows do you think you do in a month, and how many shows do you think you do in a year? And just the number kept going up and up and up and up. And you spend this much time writing, and you do this much time, on stage and performing, and you probably don't even dedicate half of that time to acting. And you're a great comic. So just imagine if you dedicated equal time to acting. And I was like, holy shit, he's right. I thought I could just do it. I thought I'm an actor. I could just do it. But it's like, you can't do it with comedy. You can't do it with acting. So I was doing acting a disservice by thinking I could just flick a switch. Denzel takes
yeah.
acting classes, so that was the thing
Still.
that made me say, you know what, I got to put more attention towards
Yeah.
acting if I really want to get the parts I want. And,
Right, Oscar.
You
you're
know, get
talking
the,
like-
I got my Oscar speech already written. I got
Yeah.
that shit written already, and yeah, so I started dedicating more time to acting.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Would you say that like so it's comedy and then it's acting?
It's God, and then it's comedy,
Right. God, then comedy. Then
and family.
family. Then hoes. No.
You so accurate.
Well,
I can't put hoes over my family, but damn
Of
it,
course.
them hoes on your heel, mama. Them hoes is on your heel, mama.
I think that's the name of the episode. It's
No.
it's gotta
Hoes on
be
your heel.
God, comedy, family, hoes.
Hoes.
God, comedy, family, hoes. That's it, man. Well, we covered everything pretty much. Yeah. I do want to ask you this because comedy, being a comedian now, we seem to be at the forefront of this free speech thing.
No, we really not. We making it bigger than it is.
You think so?
We
Yeah.
making it bigger than it is.
Well, so do you think, how important is freedom of speech?
There's
to
no
comedy?
such thing as cancel culture.
Right.
It's a
No one's
fucking
been
myth.
canceled.
Nobody's been canceled.
Yeah.
It's almost like a ploy that people that want more attention use by saying, hey, they trying to cancel me. So followers that are so against this thing called cancel culture will flock to them.
Right.
So I don't want to say a name. This guy says, hey, they trying to cancel me. And then people that want to be, that are fake mad and fake upset about cancel
It's all
culture
fake,
flock to that guy to support him.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what canceling is? When they cancel your cable, the shit don't come on no more. You can't be saying you're getting canceled and you're on every platform talking about being canceled. That's
Yeah.
not how canceled works.
Yeah. So, and sometimes you make more money from getting canceled.
Because now more
Right.
people want to talk to you. So how,
Shane
it
Gillis is a perfect example of that.
It helped you saying
Yeah.
you're getting. There's another person that it helped.
You want to?
No, but he knows he's doing. He knows. It's just they're trying to cancel.
Yeah.
First of all, you said some shit you don't want to take accountability for. Mm-hmm. You said some shit as a comic.
Right.
You said some shit that wasn't funny.
Yes.
And
Right.
because you're a
Yeah.
comic and we hold you to a higher regard, a higher standard of what is funny, when you say something that isn't funny,
Yeah.
the people feel, now I have the right to call you out on that because the shit wasn't funny.
Right.
It was in poor taste,
Yeah.
and I have a right to say something about it.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, they're trying to cancel me. No, it just wasn't funny, man.
It just wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny. Be funny.
And if you funny, if people think if you're supposed to be a funny person, then say some funny shit, and they will go, oh, yeah. I didn't agree with it, but that shit was funny.
Yeah, you're right. There's no such.
I didn't like what he said, but
Yeah.
that was funny.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all day. I think the comedian trumps anything else really. Where I'm like, hey man, I might not agree with what you said, but that's funny.
We number one, man. We the top of the food chain. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be a fucking comic.
Yeah.
Rappers want to be comics. Athletes want to be comics.
T.I. literally.
T.I.'s doing stand up.
He's doing comedy.
Football players want to be funny. Basketball players. Big Baby Davis used to come to my show when I did the show in Hollywood on Wednesday nights. Would come and every week, hey man, I want to get up there, man. I'm like, well, let me know when if you want to get together and write, bro. Like I'll look at your stuff. I'm not gonna write for you, but tell me what you got. I'll help you go over it. And I really want to get up there, man. I'm like, of course you do, because everybody wants to get up there.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should try stand up at least once in their life.
They should try it, but
At
it's
least
not
once.
for
At least
everybody.
once. Just,
Yeah.
No, just for the experience.
Me too.
There was a young lady at sorry to cut you off.
Well, no,
there was a
yeah.
young lady at a comedy club. I was in Jersey. I was doing Vinnie Brand's room in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Right.
And one of the waitresses was like, "Yo, you make it look so easy and it looks so much fun when you're up there, like so much fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm talking to the audience." It's like I call my show a conversation with Tony Rock because it's just like I don't know where it's gonna go. I know where it starts, and that's about it. And I said, "You should try it once." And she's like, "I don't know, I'm so nervous." And I go, "Hey, listen, I skydive. I jump out of planes. I do it. I skydive, right?" And I said, "I'm up in the air, jumping out of a plane, and there's an incredible rush, and then it pulls the parachute, and it goes up, and I'm coming down softly to the ground. And when I land, I say, stand-up's a better rush than that.
Wow.
It's a better rush."
Wow.
And I'm like, "That's why you should try it at least once." And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "I'm telling you, like I've jumped out of planes a couple times."
Wow.
And it's like
Yeah.
being on stage for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or doing an hour, jumping out of a plane don't hold a candle to that.
Yeah. Yeah, is it just it's I think it's one of the last things that brings people together. We're all on our phones, we're all separated.
Right.
You still gotta go to a show.
Yeah.
And be there. It's one of the last things.
Yeah. And it's a community. It's a community. It's a white guy over there laughing with a black guy he never met before.
It should be.
And
right.
something hits and they both like, hey, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's a girl over there giving another girl high fives. Like, ain't that right, sister? It just brings people together.
It should. In its purest form, it does bring us together. But sometimes I think people attack comedians for their jokes to separate
Well,
us.
there are people that are against us being together.
Exactly.
So
right. They want us fighting.
Of course they would fight that. They would be the antithesis of what we're trying to do.
Of course. But you're right. You make a good point. There's no cancel. No one's actually been canceled.
Who's been canceled?
Martin Luther King.
The only person that has been canceled in our Martin Luther King. The only person that has been canceled.
That's how you cancel somebody.
The only person that has been canceled in our new understanding of this cancel culture is Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, yeah. But he had a Netflix
said it.
thing. Mm-hmm.
He stood on it.
And they fired him.
They fired him. They won't give him a job. They won't give him an opportunity.
Yeah, what's up with that? What is
He's canceled.
Yeah.
You don't see more of him since then.
No.
He doesn't have a bigger platform since then. He's canceled.
Did you watch his Netflix thing?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think?
I support Colin. I'm in 100% support of Colin Kaepernick.
I think it's
he fell on a sword.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that, supported him didn't when the shit got hot.
You're right.
So they showed that they were just in it for the look.
Yeah, of course.
To really support somebody like that, like to really, like you said, Dr. King, to really support, to get up and march with him and take the brick to the head and the dog and the water hose because he talked you into it is some real, you got to really search the depth of your soul to see if you dedicated like that.
Yeah.
To walk and not take the bus when your job is 20 miles away.
Right.
You got to really be dedicated to the cause.
And see, we don't have that. It's going back to the black community thing. I say we have to show these people that we are not afraid of unifying and saying fuck you like they did.
I used to do the bit on stage. I do it every once in a while. How people say the world is more racist now than it's ever been. I don't think white people are any more racist or less racist today than they've been since Jim Crow or during the time of slavery. I don't think the pendulum has moved at all. I think you niggas got too comfortable.
Yeah.
You niggas got a few positions.
Oh my God.
You niggas got a few checks.
Whew,
you got a few cars. You moved into a neighborhood and you thought, oh, shit is all sweet now.
Couple of TV shows.
I blame you niggas.
Yeah.
Y'all got too comfortable. I didn't get too comfortable. I'm not woke. You know how people say woke? I'm not woke. I never went to sleep. I think the white man is just as racist as he's always been.
People think that's
I'm not,
crazy.
No,
that's crazy. Yeah.
My grandfather told me never, ever underestimate the wickedness of the white man, and I never forgot it.
Yeah.
So, like my brother used to have a joke about how I could be on Regis and Kathy Lee and sit down to talk to Regis and Kathy Lee and go hug Kathy Lee and walk over to Regis to shake his hand. He could take a pencil and stab me in my fucking neck. And I go, I should have saw that coming.
It got too close.
That's how the Rock family is on it.
Got too close.
That's how we on it. We on it like that. Like I'll sit in the room and handshake and do a deal. But I'm always like this. Like, okay, come on. When they gonna fucking pull out the fucking?
Where's the bullshit?
Where's the? Now you gotta suck a dick. Now where's the?
Has that ever happened to you?
No.
Literally.
God, thank the Lord, no.
They know who to try.
They know who's gonna wear the dress.
They know who's gonna wear.
I said, I listen. I say that all the time. I would be a much bigger star if they knew I would wear a dress. I got the look.
Yeah.
I got the material. I write. I have scripts ready to go. I have treatments for TV shows. But they know this thing ain't gonna wear.
Well, let me ask you this: play devil's advocate. Why not just wear the dress? Why not sell out? Just sell out.
No.
Why not?
No. There's people in the ground that are looking down on me, and they left me to carry on the torch of the Rock family. I can't do it. Yeah.
And so to be clear, you mean getting paid to wear a dress, not trans people who put on a dress as their identity.
Yeah, that too. That too. Yeah, thank you for clearing that up.
But I agree with you 100%. And
that was a good one.
But here's the thing is, because people have been wearing dresses like Dennis Rodman. He wore a bunch of weird stuff.
That was
just on him. Nobody made him.
Yeah, that was a different.
Right. If it comes
was a
out
different thing.
Right. That's a whole different thing. But what we're talking about is if Hollywood or somebody coming, I don't know if I can say his name, but I want to, but I won't. But like, there's a comic who told me a story how like he was in a movie, and literally they came in and they took his character from straight to gay, and then it just got gayer. And like it got like to the point to where he was like, well, when I got this character, he was straight. And then they changed his gay. It's like, all right, okay, cool. And then he was like, oh, it'd be funny if we come in and you're like sucking a dick. And finally he was like, no.
Wow.
And he wasn't in the sequel.
What was the original?
I can't say that because
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
Y'all know the story
Sorry.
about Kumail Nanjiani, right?
No.
With the Eternals. So
No,
you know how he was in the Eternals, right?
Right,
and,
right,
And he
right.
plays Kingo or whatever. And in the movie, he's a Bollywood star. That's like his cover
okay.
as the superhero, right?
Right.
Bollywood is, basically
yeah,
Indian
yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah.
He's Pakistani.
Mm-hmm.
The character was Pakistani when he got the job,
Mm-hmm.
and originally was like they talked him into it because he was going to be this action guy. The first scene was going to be a fight, and then like 6 months into it, they're like, oh, by the way, we rewrote the introduction to your character. He's now a Bollywood star. So the first scene you're going to shoot is you're going to do a Bollywood scene.
Wow.
And they treated him like as if Indian and Pakistani aren't two completely different things.
They don't, but you know what? That's just ignorance.
That's
just
ignorance. And it brings up a good point. Ignorant. There's two different types of racism. I talk about it in my act.
I told you, Russell Simmons told me one time that everybody isn't racist. Some people are just ignorant, and a lot of times people will deem ignorance racism.
Right.
But it's not always racism. Sometimes people are just ignorant. They don't know that they don't know.
And the way I see it is the racism, if you will, stems from ignorance.
From the ignorance, right.
And sometimes it stems from hatred. And
Right.
and
No,
I
that's
think,
the root of racism.
Right. Most times it stems from I don't like that person at a core level for no reason at all.
Right.
I remember one time I was going to a school, all white school, like 5th grade, and it was literally like, man, I'm the only black kid at the school, and they were making fun of me, calling me monkey and stuff. And one time this shaped my whole opinion about race moving forward. I asked one of the kids, how come you don't like me? How come you don't? He's like, how come you don't like that I'm black? And he sat and thought about it. He was like, I don't know.
Wow.
And that to me, from that, I was like, wow, this motherfucker doesn't even know. But it's taught, it's learned.
But you know what? I have a similar story. I went to a public school. My mother thought it'd be a better idea to have us bust out of the neighborhood. Like I said, I come from the bottom, bro. So my mother had us bust to a white neighborhood to go to school. So from kindergarten to 6th grade, I went to an all-white school. I was one of maybe 15 black kids in the whole school. From kindergarten to 6th grade, 15 black kids.
Yeah.
And so this is the thing. I saw the worst of white people first.
Right.
I didn't see the goodness and then
Oh.
was exposed to racism one day and it just broke my heart. No, I saw the fucked upness, and I want to say it that way, the fucked upness of white people first. Then I saw good white people like, oh shit, they not all like that. Because I saw, I was hour bus ride on the yellow bus, going through the white neighborhood, nigga, fucking nigga, go home, nigga. On the bus, god damn, what the fuck? Didn't get to school and it's, stinking nigger. And don't get me wrong, I had white friends in my classroom. Coolest kids, little girls that liked me and crushes and all that.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, sneak. I remember girls would sneak and give me Valentine's Day cards. Like, don't tell anybody. Like, what the fuck? Why can't? And then one year, I was like maybe 4th grade, and there was a bus strike. The buses went on strike. No, I might have been 3rd grade because every brother was another year. So it was a brother in 3rd grade, 1st grade, 3rd grade, 5th grade. And there was the buses went on strike. And my mother had my grandfather drive us to school and pick us up. And grandparents aren't the most punctual motherfuckers in the world.
Right, yeah.
So my grandfather would pick us up from school, but sometimes we would have to stand outside of the school and wait for him to come and get us. And we're literally the parents would come and pick the white kids up, and the little white kids that lived in the neighborhood would just walk home. And so now it's 10 black kids just standing outside, holy shit, we outside. The doors are locked because they didn't give a fuck about us. They're like, you outside, you're on your own now, nigga.
You're right.
And the kids, the kids that went to school in the neighborhood would literally walk across the street where their big brothers and big sisters were. And as soon as they got across the street, they would turn around and like, fucking nigger, you're stinking. And I'm like, damn, that kid was just sitting next to me in class. It was all good. We were talking about Hot Wheels and, you know, whatever TV show we liked and cartoons. And as soon as they got across the street to their big brothers and the big sisters or the bigger kids in the neighborhood, it was nigger, stinking nigger. What's that I smell, you nigger? Yeah. But it also taught me that most people are just followers.
Yeah.
Because I knew in my heart of heart, I knew that he don't really feel like that. Because we just had a real conversation in class. I shared my lunch with him. I gave him half of my sandwich, and you know, I gave him my pudding for his fucking snickerdoodle or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he got across the street and it was nigger, and I'm like, he don't really feel like that. And I realized people that follow us.
They are, yeah.
People that follow us, good or bad. Some people follow.
Yeah.
Mostly bad people follow.
Well, and I think this is I do believe that if you have more room for people to learn and better themselves, then that's a very necessary thing. But right now what I see is a lot of people going, you're racist, you're bad, you're removed from society. When it's like what you just said though, and what we all experienced as black people is like, it's not always stemming from the core of hatred. Sometimes it's like they're following, and if you get them alone and then you educate them.
Right.
You know the story about the black guy that was just hanging out with KKK people and then got them to reform.
Oh, the guy in the band?
Right, yeah. He just was hanging out. Yeah.
No, he plays piano.
Right.
He plays blues and he played piano, and the white guy came up to him and said,
do you know what I'm talking about?
I looked him up after you mentioned him before.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is.
He played the piano one night, and a guy walked up to a white guy, said, I have never seen anybody play the piano that good in my life. And they started talking, and he said, what do you do? And the guy was like, you ain't gonna believe this. I'm in the KKK.
That's hilarious. That's great.
Because
Daryl Davis.
The music touched that guy it touched his soul
on a molecular
level, yeah.
And then it just, but that's how loose racism, the foundation is. It's like you just shake it up, you can be shaken.
Right.
And I think that's what we need. But what I see is more the opposite. I see more people condemning. Like we talked about Joe Rogan, and obviously, it doesn't stem from hatred, but it's a little ignorance there.
Yeah.
And so. Instead of ostracizing him from society, give him a chance to,
Well, I will say this. Listen, I know Joe Rogan.
Right.
I've shot pool with him. Everybody know that's one of my favorite things to do in the whole world.
Oh, my God. Pool. Yeah, I almost beat you.
Almost. I shoot pool. I shot pool with Joe Rogan. I hung out with him in Miami. I did his podcast. Mm-hmm. He offered me some elk meat. We had a great conversation. Mm-hmm. Every time I see him, he never does the Hollywood shit and walks past me. He's always like, hey, Rock, what's up, man? How you doing? Mm-hmm. Okay, all of that, thumbs up.
Right.
I will never defend a white man for saying the word nigga.
No. Yeah.
So if he gets in trouble, fuck him.
Yeah.
After I said all I just said, hey, I'm not defending a white man for saying nigga.
Right.
I'm just not going to do it.
But you don't have to.
So, and this is the thing I said to you about at the Laugh Factory. If you're so cool with black people, you should know that you shouldn't say that word.
Yeah, of course. There's some, which is why I say there's some ignorance
Eminem is
there.
in hip-hop music.
Yeah.
His friends are the richest, blackest, ignorantest, gun-toting, fucking drug-selling, snorting, misogynistic motherfuckers in the world, musically.
100%.
And he still says, yeah, I should probably stay away from that word.
Yeah. So
I should probably not fuck with that word.
It was very stupid.
The guy that wrote
very dumb.
Bitches Ain't Shit But Hoes and Tricks is my producer. And I still go, hey, I should stay away from that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he knows. Because he knows.
Of course. There's a
spectrum from Eminem to Quentin Tarantino. Joe Rogan is somewhere
in the middle. Yeah. But it's all white guys.
So look, if I see him in the airport tomorrow, I'll go, what up, Joe?
Yeah.
But if a camera's in my face and they say, hey, fuck him. If BET runs up on me like, what are you there? Fuck him.
Yeah.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, he'll be all right.
No, he's already fine. He's
fine.
It's already not even a thing. That was their last thing. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that like those they were waiting to take Joe down because of they don't like his stance on vaccines, and so that
was he anti-vax?
Well, he brings on some people that like spew anti-vax like rhetoric. He gives them a platform. He himself has said that he's not anti-vax, but there's also clips of him saying that if you're young, you probably shouldn't get vaccinated. But I think he's evolved.
There's also plenty of clips of racist people saying, "I'm not racist," but going on to say some racist
I got two
shit.
black friends. I fucked the black girl in college. I guess that qualifies as not racist.
But I think they are mad at that narrative.
Andrew Hamilton had black fucking children. Strom Thurmond had a black mistress. I guess he ain't racist.
Right. Well, I think that's ridiculous, and I don't know why anyone feels the need to hammer one way or the other. But moving away from, I guess, like race and onto like the vaccines in general and the mandates, it seems that we're getting rid of it, right? And we're lifting it up. But the thing, you know what's going on in Canada?
I vaguely. I know there's like,
so it's like
the mandates enforced, and the truck drivers are like, they can't work now.
They're mad, right?
Yeah.
I believe
because they don't want to get vaxxed.
I believe they have a law that's making it harder to be a trucker and not be vaccinated. They're trying to like.
Oh, okay. So it's either or. You can't.
It's either or, right?
Okay.
And they're protesting to have like less strict laws.
Right.
And but it's just pretty much like a traffic jam. They just stop.
Yeah, they just said we're gonna just block like the border or something like that.
Yeah.
My man Kush was telling me about it. Shout out to Kush. Yo, he was telling me about it. He sent me like a link to like read up on it. He's like, dude, it's getting thick up here.
Yeah, it's funny. That's how soft Canada is. It's a little traffic jam. Justin Trudeau is like, it's an emergency. He called it like a national. It's like, come on, man, that's the fucking 405.
The lights are red. We can't get through.
But yeah, it's becoming a thing. I don't know, man. But California just lifted the masks, except for L.A. for some reason.
That don't make sense. See,
I don't get it.
They should just admit we don't know. The government should say, hey, man, we don't know either.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you think being safe is, do that. Like whatever you think taking precaution is, do that.
Yeah.
Because it don't make sense to say you got to wear a mask in L.A., but if you go to Ontario, you can take it off because it's right down the street.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If you go to West Covina, no, you're fine. But here, you got to put it on to walk in a restaurant, but you can take it off when you get to your seat. That doesn't make sense. So just say, hey, man, we don't know either. Just be as cautious as you think you can be.
Yeah.
Because it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's a new thing, and I think it's interesting that the science hasn't changed, but midterms are coming up.
I could be wrong. Like I look at the NBA, right?
Well, the science has changed a little bit though, because we have learned more about how the virus works, and each variant that comes out, there are wrinkles in what the transmission rate is going to be. So it's just very convenient that also the midterms are coming up, and maybe if the science has changed, because there were people saying this before the science officially changed, and so now they've come around. Like Florida didn't shut down at all.
Atlanta, they partying in Atlanta right now.
How are they not all dead?
And it's a little strange that the CEO of Delta said, hey, can we change it from 10-day quarantine to 5-day? And they said, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? It's all
that's
fucking...
so that's why the government should just say, hey, we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Because I need people to fly because I need to get this money, so I need them on these planes. Change it from 10 days to 5 days. So if that's the case, we're putting everybody at risk. If the rules of how contagious it is and the contamination levels is true, then we're putting everybody at risk if they say 5 instead of 10 days.
I want to ask you this because I've been going on the road with you has been an experience. It's been one of the best things that's happened to me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And I just want to get you got any, what would you say is the craziest thing that's happened to you on the road? Who are you with?
Good or bad?
Both.
Okay, I had a girl that tried to get me robbed one time in Chicago. That was an experience. Like she really wanted to get me robbed.
When was this?
And I was a dummy because I got in the car with her and told my friends, hey, we'll follow the car.
You got in her and then your friends.
Yeah. So we were in Chicago. Some of my boys drove out from Dayton, Ohio. It was about 6 or 7 of us. And they drove out in a big ass like excursion. Mm-hmm. And then we went to some party after the show, and there was a bunch of chicks there, and we were just drinking and partying and having a good time. And the chicks were, we had I get the big table, so we had the big table full of girls.
Right.
And me and this one girl hit it off. She was very sexy, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing after this?" And I'm like, "What are you doing after this? You coming with us? You hanging out? I'm going wherever you go." I'm like, "All right, cool." And it was all flowing the way I saw it in my head.
Yeah.
So her crew of girls was with my guys, and we all walked to the excursion. And she's like, well, I don't want to get in there. I brought my car. And I'm like, well, all right, you know what? I'll jump in with her You guys will follow y'all. Just don't go crazy because my boys like to drive. Yo, don't go crazy. So we driving back to the hotel and we get to a toll and my boys go through and I'm sure they're in the car laughing and joking with the girls and drinking and smoking. They pay the toll and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And she stops at the toll and starts, oh my God, where'd I put my pocket? Where's my purse? And where's my wallet? And I'm like, hey, go. You gotta keep with the car. Follow the car. They going further. They still drive. Oh, you gotta keep up with him. And she's like, and I'm like, here, I got money. Just hurry up, go. And we get through and they're gone.
Damn.
And she says, don't worry, I know where your hotel is. Like, I got it. And we driving, and I'm like hoping she could catch up to them, but she's taking her time. And then she's driving, and you're in the passenger seat. You're me. And she takes her phone out. She starts texting like this. And I'm like, why is she holding her phone on this side? Like, I'm a New Yorker. I peep everything.
That's weird. Yeah.
My trauma PTSD levels, my hood PTSD is at an all-time high.
Your hood spidey senses.
My hood, but what it really is our hood PTSD.
Right.
From the hood, some shit you just
that's shady though.
So I see her texting and I'm like, okay. I try to keep cool because we're on the highway, and she goes, "Oh, I know the shortcut to your hotel," and jumps off the highway. Now we're on random streets.
A shortcut, yeah. Oh, man.
And she's texting and driving. And I just play it cool. I'm leaning back and I'm acting like I'm not worried at all. And then the phone rings and she puts the phone on this side, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm following y'all. I'm on my way, y'all. I'm on 3rd and says the street."
Yeah.
So now I'm like, she's giving a motherfucker exact location. So I kind of sit up in the chair and get ready for the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I see a sign that says like O'Hare Airport, arrow pointing that way. It's Midway Airport, like that way. That's the smaller one, right?
Yeah.
Midway Airport, arrow pointing that way. So I know the airport's that way. At least I know that. And we stop at a red light, and a car comes to the red light facing us, and I see the high beam click one time, bang. I make no movement whatsoever. I see it, and I go, okay, that's the person she was trying to tell where we were. And I sit in the car, and I wait, and I like play in her hair, and I watch the light, and I'm like touching her shoulder, playing with it, and I see the light on the other side go yellow, red, and as soon as that all light turned green, I fucking jumped out the car and hauled ass toward Midway Airport.
Right.
And I made sure to run down a street that was one way this way so they couldn't drive down. They could, but it'll be, hopefully a car would be coming and they couldn't make it. I ran my ass to the airport, and it was like 4 a.m, so no planes are landing at 4 a.m.
Right, yeah.
It was the guy with the buffing machine. Black dude, headphones on, buffing. Just jamming.
Yeah.
And I run up behind him like, "Yo, my man, yo," and I hit him on the shoulder. He turns around like, "Oh shit, Tony Rock." And I go, "Bruh, I need you to call me a cab, because no cabs at the airport at 4 a.m. I need you to call me a cab." And he's like, "Where you coming from, man?" I go, "Oh, long story, bro. I don't even get into it with him." I go, "Yo, slow story, fam. I had a wild night." You know what I'm saying? He goes and calls me a cab, like, "Yeah, to be here in 10 minutes. The cab pulls up, takes me to the hotel. I get to the hotel. I go to my room. I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning, go to my boys' rooms. We all got rooms on the same floor, so I'd like knock on the door. And one of the dudes opened the door like, "Yo, I got Shorty in here from last night." "Okay, cool." Next room, like, "Yo, you good?" And like 3 of them in there smoking. And I just go in the room like, "Hey, yo, y'all had a good night last night?" Like, "Yeah." "Did anybody think to check to make sure I got back to the hotel?" And like, "Yo, we thought you was good, man." "Yeah, you thought I was good. Let me tell you what the fuck happened."
Yeah.
And they all like, "Oh shit, so sorry, man." But it was on me to be the dummy to jump in the car with the girl. So yeah, that was bad.
Oh, but you know what? That's why I notice when I'm on the road with you, you always make sure.
Yeah.
If I leave early.
Yo.
I can never.
This motherfucker gets drunk and will just,
I'm out.
Poof, disappear. Yeah. But I got tell features all the time. I tell all the features that always have been coming on the road with me forever since I started bringing my own feature. I'm responsible for you. I don't want to have to make the phone call to your mother like, "Hey, we were hanging out and I lost them and something happened." That would be the worst phone call ever. So that's why I'm always like really on you. Like, "Hey man, don't leave. Or if you leave and let me know. Or if you're going, like," that's why I do that, because I'm responsible for you. I'm literally responsible for you. I'm the reason you're out here. Right. So I feel very responsible for the features when I'm on.
Yeah. That, and apparently some shit can go down.
Shit can go down. Yes. That was bad. And then good is probably Houston, Texas, years and years ago. If wifey's watching this, years and years ago, these two girls, they were best friends. They were sexually experimenting, I guess. They were like kind of sexually curious about each other. So the thing was, they weren't lesbians, but they were curious, and they wanted to experiment the first time with each other. So she was like, if I'm going to have sex with a girl for the first time, I want it to be with you. And she was like, well, if I'm going to have sex for the first time, I want it to be with you.
Wow.
But we want a guy too, like to be kind of fun. And they literally like came to me like, hey, after the show, like, listen, this is what we want to do.
Oh,
so if you into it.
Yeah.
And I had been trying to talk to one of them that night. So I was like, hell yeah. And they came back to the hotel, and they were so like cool about it. They came back to my hotel, and they were like, hey, we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go get a room.
Right.
So we won't be like in your room and you want us to kick us out, or are you ready to go to sleep and we up like. So we'll get a room.
Wow.
And we'll call your room when we're ready. And I was like, hey, I'm in, whatever room. And they called the room like, hey, we're ready when you are. And I just like jumped in the shower and did some push-ups and shit. And it was like, all right. I went to their room, knocked on the door. They were both ready to go. Jumped in the bed. And I was like, hey, I was trying to be like cordial as well. I'm like, hey, you guys want to start first? You don't want me to just pull the dick out? Like, because then it's not what you guys expected. It's like,
you get warmed up.
Give you some time with each other.
Yeah.
And they started kissing and touching each other. And I was just watching. And it was like, holy shit. And they were like, having fun. And I just kind of eased in. And next thing you know, it was on and popping. That was a great fucking night.
Yeah, that's awesome. And was that wasn't your first?
That was
threesome?
No. I'm the threesome king, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, man. You don't have to tell me that, man. I've seen you after the show. But
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It was one of the better threesomes. Yeah. I had a threesome once where the two girls started fighting.
They started fighting?
They started fighting. Because one girl I was kind of messing with, like had sex with her, just us two, but several times. And she kept telling her girl. And then one night we leaving the club and her girl was like, well, I'm going to come too. And she was like, oh, come on, girl. Yeah. Like it was like a fun thing at first. They were laughing about it. And then when we got back to the house, the friend was like, come on, let's go. And she started, like she pulled my pants down and she was on me. And the friend got mad that she initiated it.
Oh.
And they was like, bitch, I didn't tell you to do that. And I'm like, hey, let's not mess your friend's night up here. She's trying to have a good time. And they started fighting.
Damn.
In my house. I had to get them the fuck out of my house.
That's great, man. That's a legend. No, you're a legend. I mean, it's funny. I know from stories that I caught you on a tail end of.
Yeah, I have a child now.
Yeah, you're a dad.
Shout out to my baby. I'm a dad. It's the best thing ever. I just told a threesome story, and having a child is way better.
That's great.
To be a dad is the best thing ever.
Better than stand-up comedy?
No. It's like they equal. They
equal.
Better than skydiving?
Way better than skydiving.
Better than skydiving.
But if I had to give up like stand-up, it would be difficult. But I tell you this much. After a show's done, I look forward to nothing more than going back to the hotel and FaceTime with my kid.
That's it. Yeah.
Like party, fuck that, chicks, whatever. Yo, I got to get to this baby.
Well,
and
when
when the weekend's over, I'm trying to get the first thing smoking back to the baby.
Right.
So it's very close.
Do you find that it gets to ground you? Because like
I'm grounded.
Isn't
my
it
feet are on the ground.
sad? People, the older they get, they never reach that. Because don't you? I feel like everyone wants. Don't you want like a wife, somebody to hold you down, a family?
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I think it's weird. You can get caught up in the lifestyle of just running around.
Yeah.
And fucking.
I have some friends that aren't married, don't have any children. And they will give the speech of how great their life is, and they can do whatever they want to do and great? Travel when they want to, and nobody telling them. But I think it's like a false sense of security, a false sense of comfort.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could be wrong, but I think because they don't know this other side, that they kind of paint that picture like this is the side they want to be on.
Yeah.
But if you have a kid, man, you will say unequivocally, yo, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I gotta find a woman first.
You and your girl not together no more?
Yeah. You better. Yeah. We're
y'all together. Okay. Yeah. It's like that's a couple months now, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's
It's good. Y'all good? Or the problems are popping up. The comedy problems. He's on the road too much.
After 2 months?
He dedicated too much time to stand up.
No.
Why can't I be number one? Listen, if you're dating a comic, if you're married to a comic, you will never be number one.
It's hard,
You will never be number one. And a woman always wants to be number one. You
Yeah.
can't be number one to stand up.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. And
Patrice O'Neal said, my stand-up's number one, my family's number two. He said, what did he say? He said, my girl's like number 4. And he said, she will never be higher than number 4.
Yeah.
I think he said stand up, God, family, and her. And he's like, she wants to be in that 3, but you can't take those. You can't be better than those 3.
You can't. It's impossible.
So you're gonna be number 4. It's the highest you can go.
Yeah.
Treese O'Neal, top 5, dead or alive.
Yeah, but it's good. It's just good to see. You're a shining example of a good.
I'm trying.
Good human.
I try to be.
Like
I said earlier, my pops was the man, so I'm just trying to be a percentage of how dope my pops was.
That's amazing. Yeah, man. I feel the same way.
I feel like my kid. I feel like when I look at my son, I could see it in his face. Like he's like, I really enjoy this guy. Like when he's playing with me, I can see it in his face. He's like, man, I fucking love this dude.
That's dope.
Because he sees it in my face that I fucking love him.
And would you let your son get into? What if he was like, hey, I want to do stand up?
Well, I'm going to let him be his own person.
Yes.
I want him to be his own person.
How would you feel if he got into?
I wouldn't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I would just really, emphasize that the work that has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's going to do it, I don't want him to be a whack ass comic.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want him to be somebody that people look at, like his contemporaries look at, like, oh,
Yeah.
he's just a fucking hacky fucking pie in the face motherfucker. No, I want him to be. If you're going to do it, I want you to be better than me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be better than your uncles, and I want
Right.
you to understand the work it's going to take to be better than me and your uncles.
Well, I think he's got a good shot, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, man.
We'll see. Hopefully, he goes into something. As long as he's happy, as long as he goes into.
But
something
you would
that's
prefer him to.
Well, no, I say that as a father that I would love to him to be in something that's more stable and gets a check every week and goes home to his kids and his wife. But look what I did.
Not get paid in cocaine.
Look what I did. You know what I'm saying? There, gets paid in chicken wings for the first fucking 3 months. But look what I did. So
yeah,
change his last name.
No. The family name is the family name.
Gotta have it. Yeah.
Well, wait till he like makes it on his own, and then he can have a quinceañera, like a coming out party where he reveals he's truly a rock.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Did you? That's interesting. Another thing I wanted to ask you, because I noticed some people when they have a famous last name change it so they.
I had a manager that suggested it. I had a manager that he didn't suggest it. What he said was, "I'm going to watch your set, and I'm either going to tell you to change your name or to keep your name." And he watched my set and he said, "You can keep your name."
Got it.
And then I told him, "Well, you said that as if my brother's name. It's my brother's name. It's not my brother's name. It's my family's name."
Right.
So there are rocks that I owe, holding the name as taking the name as far as it can go and holding the name as, as pure as it, keeping the name as pure as it is.
Right.
To more rocks than just him. Mm-hmm. He's my brother. He's not the patriarch. You know what I mean? So I took a slight offense to it, but it was like he didn't mean anything malicious by it. He was just saying it's a tough name to live up to. Right. Considering who my brother is and his standing in stand-up.
Right. Well, you're your own thing, man. It's crazy, man. Like just the one. I mean, I've never seen somebody weave in and out of jokes, crowd work. Sometimes I'm like, how do you remember that? And you connect everything.
My boys say that all the time. Like, how the fuck do you remember all that shit? I'm like,
yo,
hey man,
I don't
do drugs.
Yeah. Oh, you don't do drugs.
I don't do drugs.
Well, there it is.
I don't do drugs. I am drugs.
Yo,
I am drugs.
That should be the name of Tony.
The name of my podcast. I am drugs.
Drugs, man. Yo, well, yeah. Thank you so much, man. I don't want to keep too much of your time.
This was the first Trey Elliott podcast.
Trey Elliott.
Hold for edit. Hold for edit. I take 2 Treys on the road. I take Trey Stewart and I take Trey Elliott. Shout out Trey Elliott. But hold for edit. Ready? Yo, this is the first Trey Stewart podcast. The working title is still to be determined.
Yeah. Trey Stewart program.
I think Trey Stewart program is a great name.
All right, let's go with that.
I thank you for having me.
It
was a pleasure, brother.
Yeah,
I told you I always enjoy talking to you, man.
Yeah,
always,
man.
I always on the road, in the green room, in the airport. I always enjoy talking to you,
man. Yeah, thank you. Anything you want to plug?
I like talking to intelligent people, and you are certainly that. Tony _Rock on Instagram, TonyRockComedy.com. If I'm in your city, come and see one of the best comedy shows in the world. I stand by that statement.
Yes, yeah. All right. That's it, man. Tony Rock.